Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. I'm super excited that you guys are here. We have a special guest starting in a few minutes. But first, just a few housekeeping rules. Also, I noticed that my haircutter missed an odd part of my face to not shave. Okay, well, we'll figure that out later. So, few housekeeping rules. First, we go live every Friday night at 8 o'clock. So you can kind of like set your calendar. There's probably other things you do on Friday nights, like maybe you watch The Mandalorian, or maybe you catch up on The Crown, or whatever it is that you do. On Friday nights, we go live at 8 o'clock, except not next Friday. We'll get to that. Also, if you have not already done so, check up on your extroverted friends. They're probably home, they're probably alone, they're probably tired of it. We're all tired of it, but check on your extroverted friends. It's really, really important. I'm gonna check where our special guest is. He should actually be here already, so let me just see if I can find him. And let's see. We'll see if that works. We'll see if that makes it happen.
There we go. There we
What's
go.
up, man? Welcome to the live show, bro. Wait, are you pouring wine for yourself?
Huh?
Are you pouring wine for yourself? What's
I'm
happening?
pouring
right
wine for myself. You sent me wine and cheese.
Dude, are you?
You sent me wine and cheese.
First off,
What do you do?
you weren't supposed to open the package yet. I love how you immediately were like, yo, let me open the package. And then second, you're like, and wine just goes with it. I'm not sure if I can send wine through the mail. I'm going to look into that. Wow. Shout out to everybody who's joining. Guys, thanks so much for joining the live stream. Lauren and I do this every Friday night at 8 o'clock. Lauren's going to appear momentarily. She's making herself a very tall drink. So, Carl, how are things with you, man?
Craziness. Craziness upon craziness upon craziness. Doing all right, though.
Cool, man. Cool. Awesome. Your friends actually submitted a lot of questions, so we're going to get into that.
Man.
Uh,
This is going to
okay.
be funny.
No, it's going to be great. So for those of the people watching who don't know who you are, introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do, what you're about, all that good stuff.
Okay. My name is Carl Jenkins. I am from Warwick, New York / Florida, New York. Florida is part of Warwick, but everyone knows Warwick now. Before I used to do that and no one knew where Warwick was or even where it was. I am in lighting. I am a spec lighting salesperson. What that means is I try to talk to architects and lighting designers, make them fall in love with my fixtures. They put it on their plans, and once it's on their plans, they automatically come to our office for a quote, and we get paid on that. So it's kind of nice.
Awesome.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it tremendously. I grew up in the Bronx, moved to work when I was 12, and never looked back.
Good for you, man. Actually, we got a lot of questions about this. Can you tell us what's going on here?
Okay, my wife makes me take pictures of Aurora in the morning before she goes to school. You could almost put them all together and make a flip book of every single day she's been in school, which I'm going to say right now for all the parents out there, no one told me how hard it was to let your kid go to school, because you're basically taking your child that has never left your side for 5 years, and you're saying, there you go hang out in the world for 8 hours, and I'll see you afterwards. And it's supposed to be like something that's fun. It's the worst thing in the world. So Aurora has a personality. If anyone knows her, they understand that. So that was one of our morning picks. I'm like, Rory, I got to take this picture for mom. And she goes, puts her book bag on and looks at me like that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take that picture just like that. Let's see how your mom enjoys it. And I shot it over to her, and it's one of my favorites. I put it up on my phone every now and then when I need to be reminded of how insane she is.
That is hilarious. That's a great picture. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi, bud.
How are you?
Lauren, what are you drinking tonight?
Water with lemon.
Agua. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, I know. Not that much fun. Yes. What did you have there? Is that a lovely cab sab?
Yeah, it is a lovely cab. Yes. Way to go.
Let me tell you why. I worked in restaurants for a really long time. So
okay. Restaurant biz.
Mile away.
Guys, thank you for everyone who is joining. This is great. We go live every Friday night at 8 o'clock. We have a special guest. We have a thing where we send them a gift ahead of time. They're not supposed to open the gift until we get on air, but clearly someone jumped the gun. So let's
well, the lady did come to my door and say, I don't remember who this is for. And I'm like, well, is it from Dan Hill? And she's like, I don't have the name. I said, is it Carl? She goes, that sounds familiar. I said, well, that's mine. Thank you very much.
Dude, you could have ended up with like a money grab. Like, what
It
if she
could have
was,
been.
like coming to the door with like this? I have this publisher's clearinghouse. I don't know. He's like, that's me. I'm Harold Wolowitz or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, what's the world?
Yes, my name is Wolowitz. That would be. Yes.
All right, so let's get into it.
Questions.
What was in the package? Show us show us what's in
Okay,
the package.
so I have my Swiss and grapes,
Wow,
which I don't know where you've heard that from because it's one of my favorite snacks to have. Car trips, I buy a bunch. Little Swiss cubes, chop them up. I have it on a regular. So when I saw that, I'm like, where did he get that info from? And then
Well,
you
guys
sent
have
me
to
not one, 2 bags of Chips Ahoy, which is literally my Achilles heel because I can do a whole sleeve by myself.
I'm gonna tell you right now. First off, these ones are trash. Okay, the cheese
Oh,
where it's at.
whoa. Slow down,
These
slow
trays
down.
where it's at.
Old Faithful, blue bag, dunk, 3.5 seconds, call it a day.
Kyle, do you have Grogu on your shirt?
I've got Grogu.
Oh, I gotta show you something. Hold on.
Bada bing, bada bing, bada
Wait,
bing.
where are you even going? Hold on. Which cheese did that lady bring you? Did she bring you this one?
Yep, Swiss.
All right.
I got Swiss. What'd you get?
No, Swiss, but they tried to sub, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, real suspicious. All right, good to know.
So, look what we got today.
I think I should have gotten the block. Oh yeah, that showed up today. Can you see that? Yo,
I know. My brother and my sister-in-law gave it to us for our 15th wedding anniversary, and he has the remote.
yeah,
Like,
it's the one with the remote control. I've been
he's
seeing people make
so-
TikToks.
Oh,
of
that's
this
pretty
all the
boss.
Yeah.
That's pretty boss.
we have to text them because we already are like, oh, we can make so many videos. It's gonna be amazing. Anyway.
I can't wait to terrify the cat with it. That's really what I'm here for.
The thing about it is, I wish I was on Disney's marketing because
Oh.
they hit gold with this
It was
with this character.
I don't like. I love Star Wars. Like, I love it. Like, contextually. Like, I grew up. Like, I know what it is. I know who Luke Skywalker is, but I'm not by any means like a Star Wars aficionado. But like, through the years of my life, the men in my life have really like been into Star Wars. So I feel like I'm a Star Wars lover by association. So last year when
Fair.
and he was watching it, I was like, oh, like that's cool, like Disney Plus or Disney Plus. And then I started seeing Baby Yoda memes, and I was like, is there a Baby Yoda? And he was like, oh, and he was already like 3 or 4 episodes in.
No, like 2 or 3.
All right, 2 or 3, whatever. I like binged it in like an afternoon. I was like, oh, this is the most amazing show, mostly because of Baby Yoda. I don't get a lot of the big cross references, but the Baby Yoda Grogu is where my heart's at. I love him.
Absolute genius. They basically, I said this a couple of our buddies, we were talking about it, and I'm like, what they did was they gave an unlimited budget to every kid that grew up with Star Wars and
Oh
said,
yeah,
have at it. And this is what comes out. Like,
Yeah.
boom.
100%. Oh, Aunt Barbara's here. Shout out to Aunt Barbara. Oh, and wait, Carl Jensen seems to have a lot of names for you. What is going
Oh
on?
my
there?
word. Carl
Oh.
Jensen, he's my doppelganger.
So many Carls.
All
Many,
right.
many
Well,
Carls.
let's get into the questions, and then we'll come back around to your. Let's see. Let's start with the. Let's get
Aurora's
the
here.
Let's get the non. Oh, hi.
Hi, baby girl. What's up?
This isn't a question. This is just opinions about Volkswagen. So,
Okay, about VWs?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Can you not
It
see it?
just says that's not a question.
No, yeah, I can't see it on the phone. It's only, I can't see the question.
It's just us?
Oh,
It's just you guys.
Interesting.
No, I thought you. All right. Well,
There's
whatever.
an
It says.
iPhone update.
Read it. Go for it. Read it.
It says it's a comment. It just says Volkswagen's rule. That's not a question.
They
That's
do.
all it
That's
says.
not a question. That is a very true statement. And I almost wore a Volkswagen jersey too.
That's not a question. Okay. Let's go here. This question is: what is your favorite city?
My favorite what?
Your favorite city?
Favorite city?
Palisades.
Ooh.
New York. I'm kidding. I have no idea. No.
Favorite city? I'm going to have to say my favorite city would be Manhattan.
It's everybody's favorite city.
Hands
No,
down.
I know where I'm going. I could be dropped off anywhere blindfolded and make my way back. I kind of like it.
I feel the same way. Like, I feel like a snob because I like talk to people and I'm like, we've been a lot of places. I've traveled. But New York City is the greatest city in the world, to quote Hamilton, and you know everybody that has ever grown up in this area. And like
There you go.
I love others, love Paris, Rome, I don't know, whatever, Orlando. But like New York City is just, there's just nothing like New York City.
LA is pretty great though.
LA is very good. I like LA. I don't not like LA.
San Diego's good.
But
Yeah.
it's not New York.
No,
But
it's
don't
not.
you find
It's
it
not New York. There's an
not
energy
New
with
York.
New York. I've worked in Manhattan twice. I'm on my second job there, and every time you walk off the train, it's like,
Yep.
it's Alicia Keys, concrete
Yeah.
jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do.
There was this podcast I was listening to, and the woman was like, how she hates New York, right?
Oh,
And she's
okay,
like,
what
but
planet
this
she
why,
from?
This is why. She's like, because New York City is the only place where you have a story where you're like, I lost my keys, I lost my wallet, the train, like we missed our train, and I had to walk 80 blocks to my apartment, but I found the best tacos ever. This is what she said, right? And I was like, I definitely had that night, and that is what I miss the most about being in. She was using it as like, I hate New York for this reason. I was like, that seems like a perfectly acceptable evening in New York City.
Those
From
tacos,
when
I would
from
kill
when I
for
was
some
about
tacos.
18 on, I would always drive into the city. Everyone's like, oh, so you can train. I was like, no, I'm driving. I want to have full control. I want to know where my car is at. And when,
Yeah.
if I need to pull the ripcord and get out of the night,
Yeah.
I got my own keys.
It's true.
Bye. See you later.
Your Volkswagen. And you have
I
to
got to dub it up. Have to dub it up.
because you can park a Volkswagen anywhere. I have a GTI, and like I've parked that almost sideways. I've parked that car in so many places because it's like, it's amazing.
Two-door, four-door. Two-door, four-door.
I have a 4-door. You know, for field service.
Right. Well, yeah, of course. I had a two-door Jeep for service.
I love it.
This says, if you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be? It's a very.
If I was an animal, what kind
Wait.
of animal would I be?
What?
I'd be
Oh,
a,
guys, wait,
I'd
hold
be
on.
an otter.
Guys, if you're typing questions in the chat, use the question sticker so we
Yeah,
can put
we
them
see
up
them.
because
Yeah.
otherwise
Okay.
we have to scroll back and we miss them. So put them in the chat.
All right, so if I was gonna be an animal, I'd be an otter.
Oh,
Love otters.
that's a very specific.
Totally, because you know why?
Mm.
They're terribly cute. They can swim really well,
upside down.
and they can float on their back, and I can't.
Okay.
They can float on their back and chill, and just roll, and then just flip and swim.
They do.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
And they have that cool slick like fur that like scientists like to study for like fabrics.
Mhm.
They're gonna do.
I love how many people are joining that like I haven't seen in forever. So shout out to Nick White is still alive. I didn't know that was possible, but Nick White, welcome to the show, bro.
Nick White's still
Can
alive.
we get Nick White on the show? Nick,
Yeah.
send us
Oh,
a
my
DM.
word,
We
Nick
want to have you
White.
on the show.
Send down a DM.
Yo.
You know the deal. Oh, can I give a shout out to Maddie?
Nick, man, I miss you, Nick.
Who else?
She watches on the replay.
John Galloway watch. What up, John?
What?
Galloway? A lot of
Give
people
me
here.
the question.
Hey, Galloway, will I see you at Mountain Creek? Text and
Yeah.
answer. Will I see you at Mountain Creek?
Well,
I mean, you could go to Mountain Creek. You're wearing a mask, right? It's
Yeah.
okay with me.
snowboarding is the perfect COVID activity.
Let's see.
Think about it. It's literally, we've been training for this our whole lives.
Yeah.
6 feet away, you wear a mask or a bib or whatever you want to wear over your face. Got your goggles on and just roll.
Yeah.
So true. Only part I haven't figured out yet is the bathroom, but we can work through that.
But I mean, you're in there.
You got to go before. I tell my daughter, go sit in the toilet, go get ready before we ride, and I'll see you after.
Called diapers.
Or diapers. Well, I'm not an astronaut chasing some crazy person
Oh my
across the
God.
United
Can
States.
we talk about that story for a second? I know that was like a decade ago, but I'm still so fascinated with that story.
Forgot about that
Carl,
story.
I know what you're talking about.
I want you guys to understand something. When I heard that story, I literally said, did they just say she was wearing adult diapers?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember going, no,
Yes.
no. And I'm like, you were doing what? Cross country drive without?
And she was like, this is perfectly makes sense about how I will handle the situation, and I will kill him, and then I will go home. And it was like the most bizarre. Anyway, all right, we can talk about that.
And then totally her defense would be like, well, I couldn't make it in that long of a time without stopping for a bathroom break. I was like, we did find a trail of Depends going back to your house, man.
Yeah, they were like, it wasn't premeditated, and you're like, she's like, I think it was. I think
cross
it was.
country wearing.
Nobody wants to buy adult diapers.
Yeah,
You did that purposely. Nobody says, I need to go buy these right now.
And she was an astronaut too, right? Which
Yes.
means that she was like an engineer. Like she had the brains, and she was like, the best way to do this is going to be diapers. Like she thought that. That's crazy.
Result pull up.
I wonder if she was like Huggies, or which one should I go?
She's watching like the adult incontinent commercial. She's like
The commercial with the
Great
beat.
Scott. That's exactly
She's like,
what I need.
that's 8 milliliters. I'm going for that.
So crazy. All right, we have a question.
Okay, so the next question is: as soon as COVID is settled, where's the next place you want to travel?
Outer Banks, North
Ooh.
Carolina.
That's for surfing, just the
Huge
beach
house?
club.
Well, no. So here's the deal.
That's where you want to go after
I don't want, the crazy thing about surfing is I tried it once, I almost died. I love board sports and I just couldn't grasp it. It was crazy. I'll go with that story another time. But I love physically getting up and not having to do nothing all day. Now, granted, you could do that anywhere. But there's something about OBX where it's like there's a beach, there's a pool, there's someone with music playing, there's a movie theater downstairs with all the Marvel movies playing in order. There's a lot of things going on. You're like, what do I want to do today? And I kind of like that feeling down there.
Pretty cool.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
How come
It really is.
Better than the Outer Banks, yeah.
we need to
The
go
last-
there. All right, well,
the last
let us
one we
know
went
next
to
time you
had-
go.
Had a full arcade with a Star Wars machine pod in there. Like you got into it and you played Star Wars. It was crazy.
Very, very cool.
That sounds amazing. Let us know on that one because we'll tag along for that. All right, the next
Consider it
question
done.
is, what's your favorite thing to do in the winter?
Are we really gonna snowboarding?
Snowboard, like
I think
Should
one
I-
of your friends planted that question.
Yeah, no, that's kind of like, I guess, a pseudo middle name of mine.
yeah. You're one of the best snowboarders I've ever seen.
Oh.
I'm, like late to the snowboarding game, but your brother Jeremy is ridiculous. I mean,
Okay, so here's the deal.
You're ridiculous, but Jeremy is like, I don't even know. Like the first time I saw him, I was like, is that even like my brain was like, is that what is even happening? Him.
So my claim to
Cameron, like,
fame is that I taught Jeremy.
Is that
I
terrible?
taught him how to ride, and that kid is a beast.
Yep.
And
So
thank
it's
you
the
very much. I
Younger sibling, you like teach him, and the younger sibling schools you.
and they
You're
get
like,
better. Well, then again, I think it's all physics. Like he's taller, so his inertia is different, and he rides a longer board.
yeah.
But all jokes aside, no matter what I do, I can never keep up with him. I'm like right there. I get in front of him. I do a little bit. All of a sudden, it's like I'll wax my board. I'll get the temperature and get the temperature wax, the right one. I'm like, ready? Let's race, and it's all over. But we had a good
that would
time,
be-
man. Snowboarding was a lot of fun growing up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool because you guys grew up on the mountain. I think it's huge. That's huge too. Is you grew up at like which, you know, we're far enough for it to be annoying to go. Like we're far enough that it's like an 18-hour day.
Yeah, it's
or
a big day.
vacation, so it's a little tougher.
The we all learned around the same time. Then we all got jobs at Hidden Valley when it was still in Jersey.
Smart.
And like there was like 13 of us that all worked there together. Then Jared, Jeremy, and Luke got a job at Potter Brothers. And then we were just selling like animals and they loved us. So we did that and we got a gold card where you could go snowboarding anywhere in the United States for almost like 60 to 70% off.
What?
Wow.
So that was fun.
That's
There's a
awesome.
lot of money blown in those years. It's unreal.
I remember the Potter Brothers time because I remember somebody got a roof rack and like they were you guys were really doing some good discounts or something. I don't remember who it was or whatever, but you guys had it on lock at that time.
We had the inn.
Yep. We there was a swap and sale there between all the Potter Brothers stores, and me, Jeremy, Luke, and Jared outsold the mother store. Us
for real?
four by ourselves. It was hysterical. They called up. They were like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like,
Working.
we're passionate about our sport."
Well, I mean, like, yeah, like if you can sell something that you're passionate about, it sells itself. You know, like the excitement alone. People are like, yeah, like, you know, no offense, Dad, 60-year-old men are like dropping money for like snowboards, and you're like, well, I mean, you know what? You could do it too. I don't know, like.
You gotta have the boots that match. I mean, come on. You know, have the pair of pants that matches that whole entire outfit. It completes the look. You definitely need a helmet.
I had my bindings changed like, oh my god, like maybe 5 years ago, and it was like a game changer. Like I feel like I just feel like my bindings weren't right for so long, and I was having like a miserable experience. And then I was online, and I was like, oh, I need to definitely change to. I was goofy foot. I changed to right right? That's right. That's right.
Regular?
Regular. I turned to regular.
Regular.
And-
Regular's
and
left
the
foot
guy-
forward.
Yeah, and the guy, there was a skate shop in town, and he like adjusted the bindings, and after that, it was like a whole other.
All over.
I went to like a real skate shop. Like I went to a boarding skate shop. So
I tell everybody who's starting, don't worry about the board. Don't worry about the bindings. Get boots first. Then it goes board. Then it goes bindings. Bindings is the last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Get yourself going. Once you understand it, you put the right bindings on, it's a wrap.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on the boot, because if you have a boot that doesn't fit right or it's uncomfortable, you're just going to be miserable the whole time. It's
Yeah.
not even worth
Your
it.
The
foot's
worst.
cramped.
The worst.
Yeah.
And I
All right,
always tell people that they put new stuff on, and I'm like, can I just help you with your boots real quick? Please? Boot, pants goes over the boot, and all of a sudden your day was
Yes.
fantastic
Yes.
because there's no snow
Yeah.
in your ankle.
Oh, that's the
Yes.
worst. That's
It's the little
worst.
things. It's the little things.
the little things, it's the nuances that you learn and like apply and pick up from other people, and it's smart.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got a question here about a party in fall 2003 in a treehouse. I don't know what that's about.
Okay, true story. Carl, we were both at this party. Let me tell
Why
you
wasn't I
something.
at this party?
I don't know, but this is where I met you, because I met you with Tina, and
Yes.
I cannot for the life of me, to this day, I don't know whose house it was, but it was like in the woods, and I just remember there was this giant deck on the back of the house, and it was like in the trees, and there was like a downstairs part of it, but I don't know whose house this was, but I just remember you were there, and like another guy that I knew. It was, I don't know, and I'm always like trying to solve this mystery from
Okay, so I have one question about this party.
yeah.
In the front of the house, was there a Dodge Viper parked in front?
Wow, that's a very specific question.
I don't
Because
know. It was
the
dark.
reason
I don't
why
know.
there was a party Chris and I went to, Chris
Yeah.
Kitts. We drove up,
Yeah.
and this kid parked his Dodge Viper in the front. And I said, are you serious? What are you even doing here if you have a Dodge Viper? We're all like 19. So we walk in, and I think it was that party. It was in Gillette, New Jersey.
No way.
Yes,
Gillette?
it was Gillette.
Maybe it just felt like Pennsylvania. I don't know. Possibly.
No, it possibly felt
I
like
was
Pennsylvania.
there.
It was right there. PA was right there.
That is true. That possibly was Gillette. I don't know.
Just joined.
Chris, did Chris just join?
Just joined.
Oh my word.
You could ask
Wait.
him.
Yeah, Chris Kitts just
Oh.
joined.
Oh man, that
Hey,
guy's in
Chris.
here. What up? All right, so guys,
yeah.
if you have questions for Carl, put them in the questions
Listen,
so this we can put it up, because the comments go by too fast for us to keep up with all this. People are telling us they had party. Chris Kitts says he was at that party. I don't know.
yes, I told you he was.
Wait, guys, listen.
In a barn.
No. It was like a wooden house, and it had this deck, right? And then remember there was like this kitchen with an island, and then people went downstairs and were dancing downstairs.
Yo,
and,
I
like,
miss all the good parties. Carl
Yeah.
told me one time about a party where people were tagging things in a warehouse. And
Okay,
like,
so
we were
that
describing
one-
this party, and I'm
That's
like,
a
is this
very
movie?
that I remember that party. So
I missed all the good ones.
that one was crazy. That one was crazy. It was the reason why there was a flyer talk in the assembly. Do you remember that assembly?
I
where
remember
they
the flyer
The
talk.
brother went on a rant about flyer parties, and I'm slowly in the seat sinking down, going, I can't believe you're there.
Wait. Analog break, guys, for all of our young set.
Before
Before
Instagram,
Instagram and TikTok.
before Eva.
Before Evite, there was physical flyers. A reference here would be 10 Things I Hate About You, where they throw flyers down.
If you print it out on
Paper.
colored paper,
Or-
colored paper on the flyer, that's
Color
what
paper, you had money, and on top of that, it was equipped with MapQuest. So you had the
MapQuest.
Oh,
MapQuest
yeah.
with all the turns, and I'm like, where's Metuchen, New Jersey? I don't even know where that's at. It was crazy. There was no navigation. It was straight. We got to get there and look as best as you can.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's it,
yep.
man.
That's
Yep.
so true.
Ask questions later. It was like sometimes the ride to the party was the party itself, and then you got there and you're like, well, let's go back and start listening to music.
Okay.
Yeah, let's put it back. Let's where's the stereo? Get the VW rolling. Let's do it.
VW, always good Volkswagen.
All right, let's go on to the next question here. This question is, why is your daughter so stinking cute? I don't know, man. How about it?
Because she is. All right, her exact words. Daddy, you're chocolate. Mom, you're milk. I'm caramel. That's why she's so stinking cute.
Cinnamon now.
Or she actually says she upgraded to cinnamon now.
Oh, right.
For you.
And I love Cinnamon Girl. She's
That's
so
adorable.
cute.
What's up,
Yeah,
Janelle?
she's
Janelle, I
pretty
didn't
much
see
the
that.
best.
What's up?
That's awesome. Let's go on to more questions. Guys, keep putting them in the chat.
What's new one?
This is a question that says, you can't float on your back? Question mark? I don't know
Yeah.
if that's
Okay, so when we lived in Warwick, I had a pool. I do pool parties all the time. And it was whatever. I could swim like no one's business. Swim above, under, whatever. If you held a gun to my head and said you need to float, I would literally die. Because I stop moving and I sink like a bag of potatoes to the bottom of whatever pool.
You have to be like this, and then you just
What,
are
you
like.
think nobody
I've
else-
tried it. The only thing I haven't tried is going to the Dead Sea and seeing if I can float in it. That's the only thing I haven't done.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
She's giving me tips. Everyone's giving me tips. You're like, just relax. This, that. Just my mass is just, I don't know.
All right, next question. What's your favorite drink during COVID? That's a good question.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So we did the Kentucky Bourbon Trail last November with my brother. By the way, his anniversary was a couple days ago.
Nice.
And we went to Woodford Reserve.
Oh,
And I've gotten quite a few bottles of that. It is awesome. Super smooth, relaxing.
Yeah.
It was that's gonna be the number one. I have a Millennium Falcon Ice Cube.
oh.
So he chills. If I'm feeling froggy, I put the X-Wing in. But usually it's the Falcon.
That's awesome. Jeremy's here. What up, Jeremy? Actually,
Hey.
Jeremy, we got a question about you in here. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Here it is. The question is, how fancy would a dog have to be for you to drive to Wisconsin? That's a very specific question also, and I love it.
It has to be cross-mixed, and I got a steal on it, and it has to be $1 billion now, and I got in on it when it was really cheap.
That's hilarious. Shout out to Jeremy for joining the live stream. Let's see. This next question, who's your favorite Asian? Thai fam, right? I mean, Thai fam is everybody's favorite Asian, so I feel like that kind of goes without saying.
Ty, you're awesome. Congratulations on your baby. But I want to tell you something right now. My favorite Asian has to be Lonnie Malachek from California.
I don't know if I know.
That's some good stuff, man. Swing dancing. We went to her wedding out there, me and Brian Catazone. It was a blast. We had a good time.
That sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, that sounds like an
she's pretty
Asian.
boss. She's pretty boss.
Interesting.
Her wedding was 530 people.
Whoa! Holy cow!
It was the biggest wedding I've ever been to in my life.
Wow.
Wow. This next question, what do you miss most from the 90s?
Oh.
From the
That's a good
90s.
Wow.
Okay, so this one is actually, I got an answer for this one. Normal TV. My daughter doesn't understand that she has to wait to watch her show every day at 4:30. It's my next episode. Oh, that was cool. 30 minutes. I can catch the next one tomorrow. She doesn't understand to apportion her time. And I think in the 90s, we all apportioned our time for all of our shows. Guys, so that's why Mandalorian's so fantastic. It resonates because it comes out Fridays. Now, there's people that are hardcore and watch it like 3 in the morning when it clicks through. But we give a certain time and we watch it.
No,
it's fantastic. Then we have all week to talk about it. And then we watch it the next Friday. And it's like, just do that for all the shows and everyone will be fine.
Yeah,
but no, now we have
problem is, though,
binging.
like, I think shows now, though, they'll do like an episode or two and then they'll take a break for like Thanksgiving. And then they'll do a couple episodes, they'll take a break for Christmas. And like, at least Mandalorian's like week by week by week. And I totally respect that. Like, that's
Fair.
way.
This is us. We're looking at you.
Yeah, this is us. You guys got to get it together.
This is us. That's hardcore, too. That's a hardcore show.
Yeah, they got to.
But we just had this conversation about TV shows and how, like, when we were kids, there's definitely series that, like, I definitely have always missed one episode because I didn't, like, my VCR didn't tape that night, or, like, I taped over something or whatever. And, like, now you just, like, have it on demand and you're just like, I'll go back and watch it, or I'll just binge watch an entire season, and we didn't have that longer.
Yep. Or in TGIF, because when TGIF rolled around, I'm watching 4 shows in a row, and I'm getting up during commercials to get snacks, and I'm going to be like, guys, Urkel was so funny. All that's out the window. Because it's like, did you see? Yeah, I watched the whole entire episode. I'm like, You watched all of it? Yeah, you gotta watch it. You gotta get up. No, I don't. I don't have that time in a day.
Wait,
I can't binge.
people are like, oh, you have to watch the first 8 episodes. It starts to get good on episode 9, or like season 3 is really good. I'm like, I'm not watching the first 2 seasons to get to season 3. Right. Exactly.
No, absolutely. I agree with you on that, Lou.
Let's go on to the next question. Are you ever moving to peak skill?
Oh.
Was that from Dan Serrato?
Yes.
Wait,
Tell him.
Mike Delaquila also.
Tell him it's a strong possibility.
Oh, okay.
I love me some peak skill. I really do.
You're first.
All right, moving to the other side of the bridge. Wait, it's the other side of Beacon Bridge, right? Is it over there? I don't know.
Yeah.
My geography's not that great.
We like Beacon. We spent a bunch of time in Beacon. That's a lot of fun.
I had a guy up from Beacon tell me it's the new Brooklyn. I said, calm down. But yeah, it's great.
You're like easy, bro.
You're like, relax.
Yeah.
You're not hipsters. There's no hipster traps outside. There's no record stores. Calm down.
It's Beacon. It's the new Beacon.
Guys, if you have questions, put them in the question stickers so we can throw them up here. All right, this next question is good. I like it. What superpower would you have?
What's superpower?
I guess if you could pick a superpower.
Delaquila is you apart on this
I know he
thing.
probably is. Delaquila is probably losing his mind on there.
You mean Delaquila? I heard it's
Alright.
Delaquila.
Yeah, a little Delaquila. What superpower I would have? I would probably. I think the most efficient would be super strength. You could help out a lot of different ways with that.
To open those jars, right? Yeah, me too.
Like, accidentally break them.
Yeah.
But furniture, houses falling on people.
Pull a bridge together like in Spider-Man.
Yeah, but you can't do it this way. You got to flip it like Captain America did. You got to do the flip and pull. Yeah. It's a flip and pull.
That's good.
Good question. That's a good question.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. Thank you. Whoever wrote that.
Winner of the night. That's a good question.
X-Wing or TIE Fighter?
Ooh.
That's a good question, too.
Excellent. All right, so hold on. What kind of TIE fighter?
The question doesn't say. It only says X-Wing or TIE Fighter. That's all we got.
There's 2 X-Wings and there's 2 TIE fighters. These people are killing me. All right, so it would be the original TIE fighter. I mean, original X-Wing because the engines are on all 4. The new one, the engine is single and it splits. If it's TIE fighter, it's got to be the first order TIE fighters because there's 2 pilots in there and there's a rear gunner, so you never get punked. Never get punked.
Did you see on The Mandalorian last week? I said to him, first of all, I love the concept art, but The Mandalorian, when they went to break out
The guy in the junkyard.
the guy in the junkyard,
In the prison, right?
the prisoner, all the old TIE fighters, was it TIE fighters that were behind
Yep.
him, like mining TIE fighters, and they had like the old, like the original 4, 5, and 6 design.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Oh no, they gave a ton of money to kids who watched it. They're like, we got to do this right. What time period are we in? Okay, keep it with these ships.
Yeah.
Done.
I'm telling you, it was great.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, you got another question coming in. I love that you guys are submitting new ones.
Oh my word.
Jeremy says tie interceptor.
So my brother just told me he should have typed TIE Interceptor, and he knew I would have picked that.
I see. Okay, we got a question here. How many board games do you own, counting puzzles and expansion sets as separate games? What are you doing?
That's telling you a lot.
What?
Guys, we're going the distance.
It's got to be in the neighborhood of 60.
Wow.
Really?
I'm a big board game person. I love board games.
I would actually say more.
I think Janelle's actually going for a rough count right now, but I'm saying about 60.
I didn't know that there were expansion sets for games.
Oh yeah. The hardcore people are like, I want to keep playing this. Give me something new.
Like apples to apples? Like what do you have?
I have apples to apples.
I was like apples to apples.
We like Uno. We have Uno Attack. That's I think the only
And
board game we
I
really
have
play.
sour apples to apples.
2 versions of Unos, sour apples. There's I have 5 versions of Risk.
Whoa.
If Carl Jensen's on, he would know that.
A few Monopolies, a few...
Couple Monopolies, because I have all the Star Wars editions, of course.
Oh, nice.
New York.
I'll tell you the best ones. Blockus
I never
Catan.
even heard of
is
Block.
amazing. 4 players, a lot of stinking fun. Another good one that we turned on to is Exploding Kittens.
I've heard of
You
that.
know,
I guess very.
we bought that for somebody for their wedding. It was on their registry.
And the
I bought it.
expansion comes with a dog collar that you have to wear if you ask which direction the game's going, because it flips so many times. And if you ask, you have to put a dog collar on that has an arrow to tell you which way it's going, and then you can move it when it goes the other way, because you're dunce. You basically dunce out. It's amazing.
Really
The game's amazing. Great writers. And there's a great one from that I discovered because Delaquilla turned me onto it. It is called King of Tokyo.
Oh.
Ooh.
And then they made King of New York.
Oh, cool.
So I had to get both of those. Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Someone in the comments asked about Settlers of Catan. Actually, I think it was Steve Burnham. What up, Steve Burnham?
Yeah, no, so here's funny. I don't own Settlers of Catan, but I played it and I really enjoy it. I do own Scythe, which is a version of Settlers of Catan with like robot mechs. It's actually really awesome.
That's really cool.
What's the one that Ben plays on Parks and Rec? Is that
Cones of Dunshire?
is that a game yet?
That's on Parks and Rec. You got Parks and Recreation, Cones of Dunshire.
This question is Frankie and Mick want to know favorite board game. I think we just what?
Oh no, they want to know my favorite one that I would play. All right, so favorite board game, gun to my head, Risk.
Really?
5 people. It gets really intense. There's a lot of strategy behind it. You're weighing out odds versus what should I do.
Mm-hmm.
It gets real crazy. The greatest Risk story I've ever had was unfortunately involving Jeremy Jenkins. And he was in Australia and we were playing for like 4 hours already. He shows up. He's like, I want to play. Like, well, take so-and-so's game because they're syncing it up. He goes, all right, I'm going to win in 5 turns. We're like, shut up. He decimated by holding Australia for 5 turns and came out like gangbusters.
Oh my
That's so funny.
So that's why we always go for Australia, and just like Princess Bride, never get into a land war in Asia.
Especially
Never
when
do it.
death is on the
Never
line.
do it.
Jeremy goes, thank you.
Jeremy literally wrote "thank you." That's so funny.
I speak the truth. I speak the truth.
Is it like the Seinfeld episode where they're like, you ever see the Seinfeld episode with Risk? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Right. I would never bring out, well, nowadays, we wouldn't bring out a train. We could take a shot of the board with our phones and walk away.
Right.
But the Savicles used to sleep over our house all the time when we were kids.
I'm missing
And
this.
we would play Risk for 2 days straight. So we'd set the board up and we'd leave it. And we wake up in the morning, have breakfast, you ready? We'll go back to it and start right where we left off.
Honor among men.
That's so funny. If anybody knows where Mike and Nick Savicool are, tell them to text me. I don't know how to get those guys, but
You should just play in a GT Open. You'll show up there.
I know. I love him. I love Mikey.
that's so funny. The next question is, how did you meet Janelle? That's a really good question.
Wow. I was 12 years old, and I walked into my Kingdom Hall. And I'm like, I had a bunch of friends in the city. I'm like, this is a whole new area. This is weird, blah, blah, blah. And Jason Karras, Jared Karras, Luke Karras, blah, 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 and a whole family of Weeses. And that's where I first met Chanel.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so fun.
Mm-hmm. So we all grew up together in a work congregation before society decided to move the headquarters to our area.
Jeremy goes, I have no idea.
Now it's so built up there. Like whenever we go up there, I can't believe everything that's happening in that area.
Yeah, big time.
It's wild.
It's super awesome. It's super awesome.
No, it's great. More board game questions. Hold on.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Favorite?
No. What is this?
Okay.
Okay, I don't know who put this in. Dan, what product do you use in your hair? Carl, same question. So guys, I use conditioner in my hair. The conditioner that you're supposed to wash out, I just put it in there and I just leave it in there, okay? I've given up on hair products. I don't know anything anymore.
I have 2 hair products, and I only use them once or twice a month, and I shave it really short on the other days.
Mike Delacola again?
Yes, that is a Mike Delacola question. So shout out
But
to
some
Mike.
of those pictures I sent you were COVID fro. They were definitely COVID fro.
Oh yeah, let's get some photos.
They were picked out, and they looked horrible. There's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. I actually went to an underground barber a friend of mine. It was like, oh, go see this guy. His name's Tommy. Pay him $20. He'll cut your hair in his basement. And it was like real sketchy, but I was desperate. I looked crazy.
That is not the first sketchy haircut story I've heard.
No. I said the first time you go, everyone spoke Spanish. I was like, the first time you go, he's going to be all masked up. The second time, no mask. The third time, he's playing dominoes.
Yeah.
I called it.
Yeah, it was
exactly what happened.
100%. But it was like May, I think June, the third time I went. There were like mad heads in that basement. Nobody's wearing masks. The guys are outside drinking like cerveza and playing dominoes. And I was
Two questions. Did they call dominoes bones?
I didn't talk to them. I was just like,
you didn't talk to them. And the second question was, which version of dominoes were they playing? Because I just found out
the expansion pack that all Latino men play, my friend.
No, you play like triple 12. No. Those retards are triple 12? No, it is not. It's 6 and down. That's it. But I did find out from my mom that we taught Aurora how to play, and I told my mom, I was like, you know what? I remember playing as a kid. What were the rules? Every single person I've ever talked to about dominoes has their own set of rules.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's never one set of. So I'm like, all those years I could have been winning.
Dominoes is totally subjective to like how you grew up, who you grew up with.
Yeah.
It's not like spades. It's not like what's the other way to play? Bid-whiz. We learned bid-whiz.
Bid-whiz.
Set in stone. No, dominoes is like
it is a free flow.
We're gonna play, and this is how we're gonna play. It's how we always play.
Yeah.
You have to ask the rules, and it has to be a TV dinner tray.
Mm-hmm.
Every Spanish person keeps a TV dinner tray to play dominoes on.
Yes, absolutely, and so do Italians, and that is specifically the domino tray.
I'm trying to remember.
But isn't Italian what card game they play all the time?
Oh,
clubs, and
they do love clubs, and
I forget what it's called. It's an Italian card game.
Not canasta. Canasta.
It might be canasta.
Canasta is a big canasta, and especially with the older set, they love canasta.
Mafia. I like how we're making connections in the comments. People are like telling each other that you love. I don't know who you guys are, but I'm glad you guys are making these hookups in the comments. So
Friday night is about positivity, sharing a nice message, and snacks.
Checking in on your extroverted friends. Okay, we got one more question, I think. Let me see. The last movie you cried was, I guess, what's the last movie you cried at?
Nehemiah.
Oh my word! Last movie I cried.
Transformers.
Well, here's a problem. Most people
what
don't.
did you
No, my wife said Transformers. No, don't say that. No, it does not count. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
I
get it.
So here's the problem. If everyone knows me, when I laugh, I cry also. So there's certain movies where I'm laughing so hard I'm crying.
Go back to where you cried. Okay.
It wasn't Optimus. I promise.
Optimus Prime. Look, Optimus Prime is like a very like here. It hits you here.
So you mean like a heartfelt? This is messed up crying.
Then The Notebook.
No, don't say The Notebook. No way. Absolutely not. Okay, so that's a horrible movie. It like rips your heart at your chest. All right, so
6 Feet Apart.
I want to say cried.
6 Feet Apart, I cried.
Wait, what is that?
This part's messed up.
Justin Baldoni.
Kira cried. Kira cried.
Well, that's the worst movie ever. How do I add it?
Oh, man.
I flew a lot for work last year. Remember, I was back and forth to Vegas twice. Anyway,
I get so emotional in movies. I like scream and stuff.
About when I watched 6 Feet Apart. Do you hear this?
I've never seen that movie.
6 Feet Apart. I cried at 6 Feet Apart.
All right, so here you have to, Dan. You have to sacrifice one movie like that for Lauren. You have to.
Yes.
It's rough. It's a rough movie. I'm going to tell you something right now. You're going to be very upset at the end of the movie. You're going to be very upset. And it has nothing to do with the love story and everything. Just all they have to deal with. And they're like, they were wearing masks from day one. So they really were ahead of the game here.
Yeah.
But, cried.
Lion? I made Dan watch Lion.
Okay, I'm still mad about Lion. Yo, that was the most depressing movie I've ever seen.
That's a crazy movie, too. That's like, you want to punch somebody.
I was so mad about that.
Dev Patel, am I right? He's a hottie. So
I'm sorry. All right. Everyone calm down. Everyone calm down.
What's the point? I'm sorry.
Endgame. People are writing Endgame.
I didn't cry during Endgame. I screamed like a 12-year-old girl when Captain America got the hammer.
When that hammer, when he got, oh my God, yeah.
Literally,
there.
I'm sitting there going, you're watching Thor's face. He's like, bring the other hammer back and hit him across the head. And when it passes him, I was like, oh, it's going to go to, and before I could say Cap, he caught it. And I was like, it was one of those.
When I heard Peter Parker come out and start saying, Mr. Stark, I was like, oh my God, I think I need a minute. Like,
I actually, all right. That scene when he was saying, Mr. Stark, don't die.
Yeah.
I'm right here. That was a rough one. I didn't cry. It was like a tear. It was a forced tear. He was like trying to wipe off your face fast. That was a rough scene. That was a little bit, because he's in his sink. He sees a picture of him by the sink. You're like, they put such a huge connection between those two. You're just like, first of all, it never was in a comic book, but it was great for the movie.
And I do feel that Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. I think it's like a one and the same type of thing. Like, I just,
I've had this conversation before too. When Heath Ledger played Joker, the kid totally read comic books and watched Batman the Animated Series. Oh, yeah. He had in mind what he wanted to do and did it. When Robert Downey Jr. was casted for stinking Iron Man, I said, I wonder if he ever read it, because his whole life he was Tony Stark.
I'm telling you, it's Tony Stark.
He literally, like, I'm going, that's pretty good. Yeah. Watch him nail this, because he just finished the second Sherlock after that started.
Right.
So, like, you were just like, he was amazing in that.
Yeah.
So, like, that was good. That was awesome. Yeah. Okay. I got it. I know when I cried.
Cats?
I know when I cried.
Oh.
The Prestige. The Prestige, when you realize, and spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, when you realize the dad of the daughter is the one that's going to die, not the one that's not the dad.
It's a bloody double.
When that happened, I was like, he's watching his daughter, he's singing about his daughter, but his daughter thinks he's going to be okay. She's not really going to miss him because he's totally pretending to be his dad. That twist at the end killed me.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, I'm totally crying right now because he's saying about his daughter for the last time. He's making a joke out of it. No, it was a hard movie.
It was a hard movie. We saw it in the theater. I was mesmerized. Dan fell asleep.
I slept through the entire movie.
I was mesmerized by that movie. I was like, and then he like woke up and he was like, right? And I'm like, it's a bloody double. Like, I was like,
my word.
Get it. And then he finally watched it and he realized it was
Each time I watch it, I like it a little bit more. It's definitely a great movie.
Chris Nolan, right?
All Christopher Nolan movies, like, slow. I have no idea what's going on. And then at the end, hopefully you know what's going on. But not always. That's
I owe that movie to Derek Alt and I owe it to Ben. Both of them love Nikolai Tesla. Yeah. And I was like, I said, Tesla was in that movie. Then they started vomiting all these facts about it. I'm like, I gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
And I was sold.
David Bowie.
I was sold.
David Bowie crushed it.
Yeah. He Bowie too.
Yeah.
Killed it.
100%.
Yeah. David Bowie's still a big loss, and yet the Kardashians remain. Yes. But he's.
I hate the Kardashians so much.
Me too.
So much.
I can't. That's a whole other show. That's a whole other night's conversation. Any more questions?
No, that's it. That's all the questions. That's all. It's been like an hour. Carl, this has been great having you on.
I'm sorry if it went over a little over here. I apologize.
This is what we do on Friday nights.
Please let it ride. You guys didn't really go through your snacks though. Like, you kind of like lost your
momentum.
momentum.
Well, because we were talking. I mean, like I saw them going, those are great snacks, but I'm not going to be sitting here like Cookie Monster, like while I'm trying to talk.
It's fun. This has been great. So, Carl, give a message to everyone who's watching. Yep. Whatever you want. This is your time, bro.
Thanks for inviting me, Dan. I really appreciate it. You guys, listen, after this all nonsense is done, I'm going to bring you to the board game table. We're going to play some Blockus.
Let's do
and
it.
We're going to talk about our OBX trip. All right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be good times.
That sounds amazing.
Awesome.
Guys, we're going to wrap this up. Keep an eye on your extroverted friends. Reach out to them. Check on them. They're not okay. We're tired of being home. Do something. And also, if you'd like to be on the show, send me a direct message. We'll send you the application so you can be on Friday night.
It's very extensive. It's like 3 questions.
Yeah, it's like 4 questions. Every Friday night at 8 o'clock. Not next Friday, because next Friday we'll be watching Wonder Woman. That's just between me and you. We're going to be watching It's a Thing. And we'll be back the Friday after that. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. And, Carl, thanks for being on, man.
Take care. No problem.
Bye, Carl. Bye, Nina. Bye, Aurora.
See you guys.